Hello everybody, it is B-Sweet doing another iRacing video with live commentary. So we are doing the Carb Cup series yet again, but this time instead of Talladega, it is Charlotte. I actually tried doing this video yesterday, but at the very beginning I said, instead of saying iRacing, I said something else. And the video itself wasn't really that great because there weren't really a lot of cars around me for that particular race because a lot of people crashed out very early. So I figured I could just scrap that one and do it the next day. So here we are. I am starting in 9th place on the inside row. I think the inside is a safer line to start at, especially as you're going into turn 1. Because a lot of people will get loose and then they'll try to correct it and often overcorrect and go straight up into the outside wall. Need to pump my brake pedal a few times to make sure the calibration is up to where it should be. Otherwise, if I don't pump my brake pedal after I plug it into my computer, it'll act as though if I just push it down maybe not even half an inch, it'll act as though I pushed the entire pedal all the way down, which is kind of bad because it'll easily lock up the tires. I do have my microphone a bit closer to me, so I should sound a little bit clearer and a little bit nicer, I suppose. I spectated during practice for a couple of minutes. There were definitely quite a few crashes, so we'll have to see how the actual race plays out. I will say that yesterday's race, I had the black flag before I even got to the line because the two people in front of me were already crashing after getting on the gas pedal too much, so they lost control before they even got to the start-finish line. So I went by them, forgetting that you get black flagged if you pass anybody for any reason before you get to the start-finish line, so just have to make sure that you don't do that. And they are crashing in front of us already. Alright, already moved up a few spots. Wow. Pretty big gap between Gavin and the people behind us already, so that's kind of nice. We take it a little bit easy in the first few laps. I'm not sure how much I'm going to talk during this video because this track, there aren't as many places to sort of think about things as there are on Talladega, because on Talladega, of course, you have a pretty long front and back stretch, so you can sort of take it easy while you're going down those. In Charlotte, obviously it's not as long of a track, so we'll just have to see how much I say. I know Gavin is definitely going to pass me eventually, so whenever he gets closer, I'll take it easy. And he just disappeared. Good old internet. Oh. Wow. One thing I noticed is that oh my gosh. Aside from his terrible internet, one thing I noticed is that I just don't turn my wheel as much as I could. Like, I only turn it maybe 30 degrees in either direction instead of turning it more than I should. Although, when you're turning it more than you should within the turn, it's pretty easy to get loose.
Hot to get away in second night.
Wow, his internet is terrible. The next thing you know, his car is probably going to be 10 feet above the track while he's going around. And I definitely need to be smoother on the wheel when I'm turning in the turns, because I kind of crank it back and forth quite a bit instead of being really smooth with it, like I'm trying to be right now. Looks like he didn't go through turn 4 quite as well as he did in the previous laps. Ooh, that was close. Right up to the wall. So I'm currently in 4th place, which, as I've mentioned in previous videos, is my most popular finishing spot among any racing game I typically play. And there's a wreck on the front stretch, and the guy had to run into me. But when you're wrecking, instead of trying to avoid people, hold your line. If he would have held his line going down that part of the front stretch, everything would have been fine. I would have gone around his outside, Gavin got by on his inside, and it looked like he just wrecked. This race is terrible, but that's what you expect in Carb Cup. It's either really good or almost really bad. Sometimes there's an in-between, but it's either one-sided or something. I mean, just hold your line. Don't try to avoid or help other people avoid you. Just hold the brake, actually. That way you don't have to go anywhere. He was going pretty slow. I think if he held the brakes, he wouldn't have really moved. I would really need to see a replay of that to know for sure.
Wow, dude, I managed to get around you without hitting you. Try to this time.
On the bright side, I'm not in 4th, which is pretty good. So I'm currently 1 lap back now. And yesterday, after I got my black flag, I went into the pits to serve the penalty, but it turns out... Oh, I hope I don't get a speeding penalty for that. But it turns out that I didn't have to actually do a stop and go. I wonder if I actually had to just drive through the pit road, because I actually went into my pit stall to make a pit stop, because I thought the penalty would come after that, but I didn't have to do a separate stop for just the penalty itself. All I had to do was the pit stop and go. So I guess it was just a drive-through penalty, and I didn't really know what it was. Every time I go down pit road, I'm just used to getting another pit stop. So I should have some newer tires. It should help me catch up a little bit to those who are ahead of me in terms of the lap that they're on, if that made any sense at all. So I'm currently in 5th place. The 6th place person is behind me by about 3 seconds. We'll see if I'm able to pull away from him or if he's able to catch up to me. And we've only completed 9 laps, just now starting lap 10, and this might be a long race. Yesterday's race went by fairly quickly, even though I wasn't really around anybody. I guess it was because I was talking to myself from time to time for the commentary. On my TV on my other screen, they're showing a McDonald's commercial, close-up shots of the Big Mac, I think that is. Some sort of burger from McDonald's. Alright, this guy is riding the wall, and I was being a little bit too careful. Looks like I am pulling away from the guy behind me. He's a lap behind, so it looks like, well, a lap behind in comparison to the people where we've been lapped by, I think. As we come out of turn 4 to complete lap number 11 to start lap number 12 right now. So there are some issues ahead. Lots of smoke as somebody goes into turn 3. Looks like he's going to go to the pits, try and get some repairs. Come back out and hopefully not cause any issues with other people. Looks like only a couple people quit so far, which is the complete opposite of yesterday's race. In yesterday's race, I started 6th, and I think my lowest position was last because of the, oh my gosh, because of the penalty that I had. And at the end of it, I finished 3rd, so a lot of people definitely quit that one, although there were only 13 people total. I think this race has a few more than that. My lap times so far aren't that great. My last one was 30.1. That lap it was 30.113, so after my tires are worn in by a few laps, my lap times are typically in the low 30s. So that's about right. Yesterday most of mine were in the 30.2 range. Still in 5th place. Fives in 5th place. Last lap was under 30 seconds, which is a little bit better. Almost a quarter second difference, I think. This lap should be a little bit quicker, I think. No, it's just a little bit slower. Let's see if we can make up for it in this lap. A little bit high. Almost lost it. Looks like I don't have to worry about anybody around me. The nearest person in front of me is 7 seconds ahead, while the nearest person behind me is almost 6 seconds behind. I'm liking the way I came off of turn 2 right there, so hopefully this is a little bit better of a faster lap than the ones before. Hopefully 29.8. Could have gotten back into the accelerator a little bit earlier on that one. Should be okay though. $29.7. It's nice when you're able to tell if you're going to do better or not. So it's probably going to be a 30. I'm going to start guessing my lap time, so I think this one's going to be a 30.055. Coming across the start-finish line, let's see what it is. I have 30.002. Okay, a little bit better than I thought I was going to be. Looking lap number 20. Looks like I'm catching up a little bit to the person in front of me. The tires must be a little bit worn more than mine. I am pulling away from the person behind me though. I think this one will be a 30.005 or something. 292. Wow. Just halfway through turn 4, it just started drifting up. Two laps to go, that's nice. Finish this one and go do something else. This one should be a 30.255. 346, okay. This one's going to be a 30.172. Or something close to that. And I just messed that up, so maybe a 350. 30.350. Pretty much what I had for the last lap. It might be similar. 354. Close enough. As we are working our way through turns 1 and 2 for the final lap of this wonderful race. Still in 5th place. Started in 9th, so as long as you finish ahead of where you start, I guess it's a pretty good day.
Nice win, Ryan.
I think this lap's going to be 30.290. 3290. What is it going to be? 451, really? I thought it was a little bit better than... I know turns 3 and 4 were okay, but maybe 1 and 2 were not quite as good. So that is it with the Charlotte iRacing race. And now let's go ahead and look at a couple of the replays. So let's go all the way to the beginning and check out. I think it happened on lap 2. This is still the practice, I think. Alright, so here we go. Looks like the 94 is damaged from the beginning. Let's look from behind and see what happened. So there I am in the wonderful white and black 5 Toyota. And up ahead, the whatever car number that was. Let's switch to a different view so we can try and see more stuff. I've been using the blimp view a little bit more lately. Let's switch to the chopper view and move ahead a little bit. The 15 was the person with issues getting going. So 15 got on the gas just a little bit too much, went into the 1, and also the 94 who got into the 20, the 1 and the 36 were involved. And did anything happen behind, or was that it? That was it. So let's go and watch that a few more times. So there's the 15, second row on the inside. Seems like he was going to get a good start, but I guess he gassed it a little bit too much after a few seconds. You can see it looks like he's getting going, but then he just hooked to the right, got into the 94 just a little bit, and also the 1 who got into the 36. A couple people went into the grass. Looks like the 3 might have had some damage, but for the most part, that was that. Now let's catch back up to me as I go under the 12. Yeah, let's go ahead and see when the next issue happens. I think it was this lap, so let's slow down a little bit. Nope, nobody there yet. Still nobody. Still nobody. There we go. I didn't think it happened this late, as if lap 7 is that late, but or lap 6 rather. But see, my tires are already smoking for some reason. Let's go up to the guy ahead and see what actually happened. So the 3 car, of course, looks like as he was going into turn 4, he got loose. Yep, hit the apron a little bit. Gassed it to go on the infield and he tried to correct it to go back up, ended up onto the track, and he lost control again. Alright, so he backed up because he thought he was clear, I imagine, but he started moving again as people were going by him. Wow. And what he should have done is backed up more while he was in the grass, so that when he turns left, he can just follow the grass line and onto the apron and then back up onto the track as he goes down the backstretch. So let's go to one of the cars who are going to go by. So there's a 12, there's somebody else, oh, there's a 12 right there, and you can see that the 3 turns right as if he was getting into the gas while his wheel was turned right just a little bit, and of course he got loose and went up right into me. Let's watch that in slow motion, because I was kind of heading towards him, but he was still coming up towards the track and me. So I would say 80-20. I could have avoided this if I went a little bit higher after slowing down a little bit, so I can actually make that turn without losing it. But still, you shouldn't come up to the track like that. So I got taken out. The guy who was behind me got taken out. It looks like he could have turned and went around me. Let's see what happened to Gavin here. Looks like he just got loose coming out of turn 4 and hit the inside wall. And that is it. That's just, for the most part, a typical Carb Cup race. That's just about it. I can't believe iRacing still hasn't changed the sponsors for this track. It really can't be that hard to do that. But that is it with your video, or with my video rather. This ain't your video. I need to stop saying as well. I don't really say it too much, but when I do, I definitely notice and it gets very annoying. But that is it with the video. So thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one, whenever that happens to be.